Hello everyone, I'm here to give you a speech today to hopefully inform you as well as persuade you to take a certain action. This is going to be mainly for my Air Force folk that are in this class, and most of that information will go to them, but it also can maybe help some of you other ones because I know that the Air Force is the only part of the military that actually has my career field and what we do. And basically what my job is combat arms training and maintenance. And what that means is I instruct, I also do gunsmithing on all the small arms in the United States Air Force. But first I want to talk a little bit about how we came about. So let me go ahead and say this first off. The internal defense of U.S. Air Force bases and the survival of downed aircrew members may be dependent upon individual proficiency with assigned firearms. All Air Force personnel have defense responsibilities against overt and covert enemy action. To discharge these responsibilities, the fundamental military concept of competency with firearms must be reinstated within the Air Force. And that came from General Curtis LeMay. And basically why he's saying this is back in the day during the Korean War, several incidents occurred which called attention to the small arms training provided to the Air Force personnel. The most significant was the tragedy at Kimpo Air Base, Korea, which is overrun by a numerically superior Chinese communist force. The air police squadron was so overwhelmed that they were forced to fight at rearguard action before being annihilated. The general base population was then easily defeated before reinforcements arrived to drive the enemy back. The remaining personnel found alive by the Chinese were hung in the main hangar on Kimpo. This hangar still stands today. But what I want to get across to you is, for most of my Air Force personnel that work in the Air Force today, they don't have this understanding. And I get most of these people in class, and they ask me, why do I need to be here? Well, obviously you're in the military, and wars can't be won without weapons. This is just a fact of life. So if you came into the military not thinking that you would have to ever shoot a weapon, then that's a problem. All right. So basically, the resulting investigation revealed serious deficiencies in the way small arms training was perceived and carried out in the Air Force. And prior to the Korean War, no formal program of weapons training existed. And the result was the inability of the majority of personnel at Kimpo to successfully defend themselves in the base. So the majority of these base weapons were inoperable, and that was due to the lack of maintenance. And most people there did not know how to load or even clean these weapons, and that's a big problem. So only the air police were routinely trained in the marksmanship and maintenance of small arms. So with this experience, the General LeMay pursued a course that would change the evolution of the way that we train our military, or especially the Air Force, in the way that we train them on these weapons. So basically what happens now is the combat arms personnel will go through a 10-week course down at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio. And basically what we do is go through each weapon one at a time, take about a week on each weapon, and we learn how to totally take it apart, how to gauge the weapon, which means to test every function on that weapon that we may need to check it before it ever deploys, when it comes back, and then also to maintain that weapon. So, and then the last part of that is when we actually go into our instruction, and they don't hit too hard on the instruction, but it is touched on. So from time to time, you may be in a class where you do not get an instructor that may sound like he knows what he's doing, but he still may be able to get something across to you, especially the basics. How to clear, how to load, how to do your function check once you break it down and disassemble your field strip. And that's all going to help you out in the long run. And basically the reason why I'm giving you this speech today is I want my Air Force personnel to come to class, be ready to learn, take as much out of that class that you can, and put it to use. One day, This class may save your life, it may save my life and everybody else's life on the base. If we are all trained and we know how to use these small arms, we should be good to go. All right. So I want to end with giving you the Combat Arms Creed, and I hope I persuaded you in some way to sit in that class once you go, once a year or whatever, however many times you go, and to sit there and actually take it all in. Be a sponge. So here it goes. I'm an Air Force Combat Arms instructor. My country's strength lies in the men and women I train and their weapons which I maintain. My students hold faith and place great trust in me. Their lives depend on my ability and their confidence in my integrity. For in a time of war, their talent will be needed. They are to be treated with fairness and discretion for my country's resources and entrusted to their watchful eye, and their survival is in my hands. My students, I must not fail. My students, I will not fail. For mine is a proud heritage, and fostering it is my responsibility. I am an Air Force Combat Arms instructor. Ours is the profession of arms. We train in peace to prepare for war. Thank you for sitting in this class. Thank you for listening to my speech, and you have a good day. Thank you.